Welcome along, everybody. Welcome along. Of course, I said on my video for the preview of Royal Ascot, or not Royal Ascot, Champions Day at Ascot. Um, if I had time, I was going to come back on review Ascot and preview the Boylesports Munster National down in Limerick. So I have about a half an hour. I went through the card and I have some nice selections, but I'm going to kick on to today's race and just give a quick review of the British Champions Day at Ascot, where we were hitting the crossbars, so to speak, with some nice price selections each way. But it would have been nice to get one of them over the line. But albeit a very good day, a very enjoyable day, some cracking racing, some really, really nice performances, and some definitely champions crowned. None more so than Oisin Murphy, crowned champion jockey for the fourth time. Um, yeah, and just an absolute stellar season for Oisin in the saddle. Bagged a couple of big Royal Ascot winners as well, and it's good to see him back in the big time after 12 months hiatus. But all credit to Oisin, he put in the work. He got himself back into position to be crowned champion jockey. Absolutely ran away with it. I think it was over. You could say by I think he was saying, I think in an interview with the start of September, I think it was over by June or July, even the way he was absolutely steamrolling the opposition. But look, you have seen leads in that championship being pegged back. I think Jim Crowley, the year he won it for the first time, pegged back a huge lead. So yeah, it was just good to see Oisin come back there and crown champion for the fourth time. A young name to take note of then is Sean D. Bone. He's actually from my native county in Tipperary, Clonmel, young man. He is, after making the switch over to the UK and after paying dividends, he's been crowned champion apprentice today. Definitely a name to look forward to the future. Rides very well for an apprentice, and there was a couple of young guys in behind there. Joe Levy for one. A couple of nice young riders coming through in the UK and Ireland, but always great to see those. I think the battling performances at the top actually highlight the top two or three, even if you don't win it, to finish second or third. I know obviously you want to win it, but it just is more of a highlight on it. So if you finish second in the Apprentice Championship or third even, and it wasn't a battle to the top, you might necessarily get overlooked a little bit. But because there was so much of a spotlight on, look, obviously you want to win it, but take nothing away from the winner, Sean Bone. Absolute top class young rider. We've actually a cracking championship battle for our apprentice title here in Ireland. So it'll be interesting to see just three young top riders, or if not four, battling it out there. James Ryan, Adam Caffrey and Wayne Hassett. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, the Irish equivalent. But I'm going to just give a quick review of Ascot. It was a cracking day's racing, as I said. None more so than the very first race. I thought this was a super performance by Kyprios. I fancied him. I thought, look, the only thing that was going to get this horse beat was probably last year's performance when he looked to have had a long campaign, and even the same this year. But I just think he's a different horse this year, fresher. Even you see him around the parade ring, even on the build up to it, he was like a 3-year-old jogging around. So to put up the performance he did today, to win the way he did, it was an absolute. I thought the tactics were spot on. The Euphrates and gave him a good pace to hold, clear away, done his job, and Ryan and Kyprios were there ready to pounce, turn it in, and just said, right, we're going to turn this into what the race should be, a stay-in race. And he was the best horse like he has been all season. Ran out a superb winner. I thought 2 1/4 lengths back was John Goslin's Sweet William, who ran another credible race. And Trollman, last year's winner, was back in third, beating a length and a half off of the second horse. But yeah, I just thought Kyprios, I don't think because of the longer races, he mightn't get necessarily the praise he did. But I thought today, even though it was a Group 2, should be a Group 1 in my eyes. But yeah, I just thought today was a superb performance from Kyprios. Interested to see what he comes back next year and does. So now we're going to kick to the second race on the card. That was the Sprint Stakes of Group 1 over the 6. And I was very, very sweet on the floor of Bermuda here for Andrew Ball and Oisin Murphy. And I'd look at, like, at one stage, just it looked like a good bit of the race that we were actually going to come and win the race. But we got held back in third by a head and a neck. King of Blue, James Franshaw, who has been who knows how to handle a sprinter, has had some very, very good sprinting horses down through the years. Looks to have another one here. Watham Racing acquired it, and James Doyle, who I rave about a lot of times. I thought gave it a superb ride. Swing Along was a bit back ahead, back in second for Cara Burke, Billy Lucknan, Billy the Kid back in second, and then of course Our Selection was third, beating a neck. But at odds of 25-1, hopefully everybody put him in Look 15, had a little few small quid each way on him. Then we went to the champion mares, fillies and mares, and Our Selection of the race. Wingspan was another one that we had a second place finish. Shawnee Levy Road there for Aidan O'Brien, returned 12-1, but was a good 3 lengths back to the third, so it was a very good second, but there was no doubt about the winner here, Andrew Baldwin. Kapala for Judd in the Juddmonte colours, William Buick combined. There was actually Williams' first Group 1 winner for Andrew Baldwin, who he started his apprenticeship with. I actually remember the day. I remember they put a lot of lead in his saddle. He was so small. But Wingspan ran a brilliant race for us, but this winner was very impressive. I was very taken with the performance here, and 2 nice performances in the first and second. I think both of these two will battle out Group 1 races in the near future. Then we went to the QE2 over the mile. Our selection was David Minucia's Tampawa, last seen winning the Sun Chariot. Finished third. Sharon, who has been a stalwart this year for Roger Varian, Sylvester de Souza, backed it up with another Group 1 performance and went away by 2 lengths to the French runner back in second, Factal Chevalier, and our selection was third. A horse I was actually going to mention last night finished fourth, Dancing Gemini for Roger Teal. Looks like he's back to his best. Good to see him run a nice race as well for Connections. But take nothing from your winner, who's been superb this year. I just thought maybe we'd take him on with the fresher legs, but look, class always rises to the top. Then we went to the feature race on the card. That was the Champion Stakes over the mile 2 with 11 lining up. I sided with there was 2 warm favourites here, Callaghan for the French runner and Economics for William Haggis. I sided with the French runner. We got it right in the match bet, but we got ran down late with Owen Burrows, Jim Crowley in the colours of the Shadwell Estate with Amanat, a horse I actually looked at and was going through its form races, and I was nearly going to put him in as an each way selection, but I didn't. Hindsight is a great thing, but at 40-1, I was absolutely kicking myself. Our selection got ran down with a 40-1 shot, but the race was an interesting race to watch, a great race to watch, but there was a couple of hard luck stories. I actually thought the second horse was unlucky the way he ran. I definitely prefer the second horse in a match bet again the winner the next time. But look, you can only beat what's on the day and take nothing away from the winner. This is a very good horse. I just think he was way overpriced on his last run after coming out of France, which Jim alluded to after the race. He was saying that they mightn't even run here due to his performance in France. But I'd say they're glad they did now because they were well rewarded, and it's good to see him back. Owen Burrows does very, very well like with these horses. It's easy. I'd love to go through his record, especially in Group 1 races, what he's done with the amount of horses he's had in the last 5 years or that. But Adamat, very good winner. Callaghan back in second, and Cara Burke again was third with Clifford Lee with Royal Time. Los Angeles, for me, I just think that the season got him a bit and probably has had enough of it now for the season. So we're interested to see where he comes up next. Let's imagine that's him for the year, but you never know. Then we went to the final race in the card, and Christoph Sumion combined here with Michael Bell trained Carry the One, who's been running around in some of these handicaps and wasn't beaten too far in some of these big handicaps. So see him getting on the board. 2 lengths back was Latham for Julie Camacho, and our main selection was Witch Hunter, who finished back in third at 25-1 for Jamie Spencer. Richard Han ran a great race. Our other selection in the race was Elena Jam, finished 5th, which all the bookmakers were playing 5 places. So at 16-1, we collected each way on both our selections in those handicaps. So they were two credible runs from both of our runners. We had a fantastic day with our selections. All the big prices were placed. Ran solid, credible races. I thought Flora Bermuda, I thought was going to win, but take nothing away from the winner of that race. I thought the Champion Stakes was a messy race, but a messy race for all the runners really. So I thought the winner was good at the line. So that's all you can do, is be in front of the line. That's where you want to be in front. But that was an epic stage race, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the first race. I thought the tactics were spot on. I just really like Kyprios the way he won today. I know it was only Group 2, and it wasn't the Gold Cup, which he won back in the summer, but I just think today's performance really stood out to me, as I think it was nearly his best performance of the year. In my eyes anyway, but look, it's a matter of opinion. But no doubt how much of a superstar he is, and it's great to see him back. Of course, he was out for a bit, and they didn't even know if he was going to race with a life-threatening infection. So great to see him not only come back, but absolutely destroy the staying division. Look, we're going to kick on. We're going to give a small little preview for Limerick's race, and the Boylesports Munster Nationals on down there in Limerick tomorrow. I'm hoping to get down there myself. Actually, it's a cracking card, a very competitive card, a very tough card to pick winners from. But it's one of those days where I'd like to be down there, see what's going on, and for a day's racing, I think this is one of the top cards you could actually go to as a spectator, just to go and enjoy plenty of big fields, competitive racing, and of course the feature race, the Boylesports Munster National, looks like a cracking renewal. There's also a series there, the JT McNamara series. There's a race named after it there, and there's a lot of charity work going on. If you head onto the Limerick website, you'll actually see some of the great charity work JP McManus and Boylesports are combining there with a lot of local charities and that. So there's a lot more details than I'm going to go into here, but if you check out limericksraces.ie, you'll see everything that's going to go on. Some very good causes. So yeah, it's just to support the day. I think it'll be worth the trip on. But look, we're going to just give a quick preview of some of the races here. I'm going to just touch on a couple of the races. The first race is a 7-race card beginning at 1:30. The first race, a Mayor's Maiden Hurdle. It's a race where I have no selection in the race. I'd rather be down there, see what's going on. It's a very short one, Noel Meads, Blue Mosque. Probably take the beating, but again, it's a very tough race. I said I'd leave it alone. Noel Meads looks like she's related to some nice performers, and he probably gets the job done, but it's a race I'm actually going to leave alone. But that would be my selection in the race if I was to pick one. Then we're going to go to 2-mile Maiden Hurdle for €5 plus. 19 runners declared here. A very warm favourite here with the Gordon Elliott train Sporting Glory, acquired at the sale by Gordon Elliott. 4-7 Jack Kennedy, some very, very nice form in the book. Winner of a bumper around Fairyhouse, and was fourth in Fairyhouse behind Mizor West even. William Mullins is top recruit in a grade 2. I'm nearly certain. Is it grade 2, was it? In Fairyhouse, yeah, it was grade 2 in the novice hurdle, grade 2. I just think that form it's not a millionaire making machine here, but 4-7 shot I'd be interested to see. I probably won't have a bet in the race either. Sporting Glory. I just think gets the job done. Then we're going to kick to a very competitive handicap hurdle over 2 miles 3. 21 runners declared here. I went down through this really in-depthly, and one that takes my eye if it runs is the Michael Winters Crow's Up the Apple Tart. Comes back in here. If it gets the run now, is in as a reserve, second reserve. Interested to see, in off 10-7. Slips in down the weight since his last win, and it'd be interesting to see would he claim off it, who he books to ride it. I know Darrow O'Keefe, as he got a ride in the race, might come in for the ride if it'd be interesting to see who gets the ride in this if it gets in. If it gets in at 16-1, you're going to get 5 places in the race. I just think Michael Winters is so shrewd, especially in these handicaps, these big runner handicaps. So yeah, Crows at the Apple Tower for me at 16-1. that would get a little small each way play for me in the 240. Then the 315. This is the John Thomas McNamara Series qualified riders. The claiming qualified riders, really, I think, is kind of like an apprentice race, albeit for qualified riders over the jumps. It's a handicap over lower, 3 miles, 18 runners declared. Very interesting runner, I think, at the top of the market. Not top of the market, but number one on the card, which is Georgian Quarter in the colours of JP McManus, who will be trying to win this race. David Doyle is one of the top young amateur riders around at the minute, and I think this young rider is worth his weight in gold, especially in these solely qualified riders races. Now, he can't claim in this. There's allowances and conditions, and he actually can't claim in it. But John Kiley is so shrewd. He's one of the shrewdest trainers out there. And a 5-year-old, I really liked his run the last day. There was plenty of money for it. I think he was back from like 50s into 11s. It was 4 to 13 around Cork in the Maidel Hurl, beating 11.5 lengths. So I just think he could be there 14 to 1. You're going to get 4 or 5 places again. So I wouldn't put anyone off having a couple of yours each way on him. That's where I would be siding with there. And then we're going to go to the feature race, the Boylesports JT McNamara Munster National. It's a mouthful, but it's a worthy title of a race. Boylesports take over the sponsorship here in Limerick for the Munster National. A really solid race. This is always been down through the years, and just going to think off the top of my head, I think Tiger Roll won it a few years ago. So that goes to show you the quality of a horse that does run at some of these seasoned handicappers around the big handicaps that normally fill any of those big handicaps around Leopardstown, Fairyhouse, any of those big National Hunt tracks. So they'll all come here, and it's got 19 runners around 3 miles, 4-year-olds plus, a grade 3. There's a warm favourite here with 7-2 shot, Willie Mullins, Paul Townend in the colours of Susanna Ritchie, the Harzan de Dairy, who finished second in the Kerry National behind Florin Porter, who absolutely blitzed him that day. That run alone should put him bang there. But I'm going to go sweet on one here for Gordon Elliott, Jack Kendi at 8 to 1, and you're getting 5 plays with the sponsors of Boylesports. I just think Favior de Champdou even. I just think at 8 to 1 with 5 places each way. This horse loves galloping and he loves a trip. So he last seen actually winning a grade 3 back in April over the course and distance, and was odds on that day where he beat Donaghilly Gale by a neck. I think if the winning margin was wider, I think he'd be shorter here. I just think at 8 to 1. This is a grade 2 novice chase winner in Punchestown in November last year, and then, as I said, last seen winning a grade 3 around the course and distance. I just think he is built for this, and I would think he will definitely fill the top 5 here at 8 to 1. He's definitely going to get an each way play for me. I'm very sweet on him for Gordon Elliott in the colours of Geek and Soundhouse Stud, Jack Kennedy combining. And the other one that I like is the Company Sergeant for local trainer Dennis Hogan and Daniel King. Some very nice form in this Skelda Son of KF Towers form book. 7 to 1 again. I would not put anyone off having a small each way play, and that's all. My 2 selections in the race: the Company Sergeant and Favier de Champdou. I think Gordon's horse is definitely going to take the beating for me. I'm really sweet on him, but I am going to have a little euro each way on one at a massive price at 25 to 1. Real Steel for Eric McNamara form, who's been absolutely scintillating form. He's a local trainer to the track. The McNamara's love having winners around here. I think this lad, on his day, like, you can see where he's come back down from. He was with Willie, then he went over to Paul Nichols. Has won some very nice races, beat a lot of good horses in his day. He's 11-year-old now, but he's back down really low, off a low mark. Danny Mullins takes the ride, which is interesting, and it's a race I'd imagine the McNamara's definitely want to win. They have a couple of runners in the race. I wouldn't put anyone off having a euro each way on him, Real Steel. But yeah, form that can do no wrong at the minute. But my 2 main selections in the race, Favier de Champdou and the Company Sergeant. I'm not really going to touch on the other two races. To finish the 425 is a 2 mile 3 handicap steeplechase, 15 runners there. And then there was a very warm favourite in the beginner steeplechase with 2 to 5 shot of Garnell. It's Far and Glory. Another race where I'm just not going to touch, but it's a cracking day's racing down there. I'm really hoping to get the time to get down there. So yeah, there's a lot of good work going on with that race car because a lot of charities are going to be involved on the day and going forward. So it'll be interesting to see. As I said, if you can't get down, just check out Limerick Races. There'll be a lot of details on the website there about that. And it's just great to see what JP McManus puts back into the game, and not even the game, but a lot of other charities and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the summer, or the jump racing starting to heat up now. There's going to be the Breeders' Cup is going to come up now in 2 weeks. I'm really looking forward to that. Of course, we have the flat finale in England and Ireland to look forward to in the next week or two. And yeah, I'm going to definitely be back on now, trying to get back on every week. But we had some really nice selections. I thought this was only going to be a couple of minutes, and it's have to turn into over 20 minutes because I'm actually bouncing back here. But yeah, we had a really, really nice day. Some very nice selections placed at some very nice big odds. So, but just to watch those races alone, I just really like watching them. But anyway, hit the like, hit the share button, and I shall talk to you again very, very soon. Cheers, guys.